Hey up guys, we're back. Number 2. Okay, just doing some tests there. Everything's working, but I noticed a couple of things. The bass, some of the bass is out of key, and some of the melody I'm not really happy with, so let's fix that. We've now got fresh ears, and we've got Paul in the studio kind of start watching, so I might do a little bit talking to him, but yeah, let's have a listen. Kind of getting ideas. Ah, there you go. This is out of key. So fresh ears really helps me notice that, whereas last time I didn't get that. So my issue with this section is that it's going from one octave to another and it just doesn't sound right. So I'm gonna get rid of these octaves. dun. I kind of feel like that should be. C. Just think I might have made a little counter melody there, just by accident. Sometimes you have to go off on a tangent, so bear with. So I just copied it across. This might not work, but we'll have a little play and see. There you go, that's what you call a happy accident, so we'll keep that for later. So we can make something really cool with that. That's just kind of an offshoot idea that happened by accident, but let's focus back where we need to go, and that's the melody. So one at a time. Main focus is the melody. When you start layering things up, it gets complicated. So let's just make sure we're absolutely happy. Part of me just wants to kind of carry on, but it doesn't work like that. We need to be perfect. We can do the automation later. Let's just focus on the actual melody. Got this idea in my head how like that pluck is rising up and then starts going all distorted and stuff, so that's going to be something we'll look at. So that it needs work, but it's definitely a positive kind of idea there. I like that. My only question now is that the crescendo is fairly short. It's just like that. It's normally one. It's normally two. Never really done one before. Like, sorry, one kind of play of the bar. Do you know what I mean? Normally it's two. I've never done one, so I'm just kind of curious how it will sound. We've got so 2 minutes. Yeah, I guess we could have another one. Problem with this is the cutoff doesn't work, so we're going to have to put our own cutoff in. Let's put the EQ on, so we're not affecting anything. The cutoff does work, apologies, I'm not explaining myself very well. It works, but it doesn't work like a lot, so at the bottom end, when you turn the cutoff down, nothing happens. Now, with a sound like this, there's going to be a lot of pressure build up in the low end, so to alleviate that pressure, we need to do a low cut as we're doing a high cut. This is why I always recommend using a cutoff filter. It doesn't kind of create a pressure build up of frequencies. Unfortunately, the cutoff's not doing what it should do, so we're going to use a workaround where we're bringing the high pass down. But when you do this, make sure you alleviate that pressure just by doing that. If I get rid of the low cut, so all the low end is in, and I listen to this nasty build up. Do you know what? It's not doing it because it's quite a high octave. But if that was a lower octave and we was doing it, there'd be like some nasty frequencies at the bottom, which would be pushed right down to the low end due to the high pass, squeezing them down. So to alleviate that pressure, you would do the low cut trick that I've just done. But we don't need it in this case, so that's cool. consistency correct on all of these. See if we can do a bit more. What's that noise? Oh wow. Hey, that's nasty. What's doing that? Ah. Error. If we get rid of these little markers, it should go down a little bit faster. There's going to be a lot more going on there, so don't worry, for now it's okay. But I think I'm happy with that initial idea. Listening to it there is no good because we don't get we don't get the full sound, so it tricks your mind into thinking it's okay. What you have to do is listen to it a good couple of times. Like, also while we're here, let's use this opportunity to kind of put in some kind of atmosphere just to give ourselves a little bit of a head start on that. But it will also allow us to kind of get an idea of how this section is going to work with the breakdown. So I'm just going to use this MIDI, which is going to be useful. got Omnisphere, Paul? I've got first one. So if you're an Omnisphere user, you're going to know how frustrating this can be. Sounds out of key. Excuse me, what is going on there? Oh, of course. Huh. We're in the wrong key. That's why it sounds out of fucking key. What a tosser. Okay, fastest way to do this, let me think. Why is there a gap there? That's fucking annoying. See how I change the colours to make it more pleasing to me? I'm just going to do a couple of changes here where I see fit, just to change it up a bit. Okay, we're back. Let's have a good old listen to it. Keep that going. That sounds big. I like how that bass is working. This is a great way to kind of see how your shit's working, so to speak. playing that. See, the atmosphere, it gives you a much clearer indication of keys and stuff like that, and when it's out of key, because it's a much higher, harsher tone. You hear it a lot more than a bass. So for me, I find it, a lot of the time I'll do a bass line, and I'll not even realise a little note's out of key, even though I'm good at that, but whatever, until I put these kind of slamming kind of atmosphere down, and then it's like, oh shit, that note isn't right. So, and you've seen me do a couple of those fixes today. There. It's there. Why am my ears aren't hearing that, like. we need to get this now transfer and kind of swap over. So how are we going to do that? Right, band... That's not really stupid. Band 1, frequency, I believe. No. Yes. For some reason that doesn't seem to be working. Okay, that makes sense. I really need to change it so I'm not using Pro Q on all my main sounds. I think I have changed a new template because it's frustrating. I don't like it. I just prefer Logic. The Pro Qs are good for like kind of low passing a kick because I find that they're tighter in the low end. They keep the kicks low end a little bit tighter. But yeah, to be fair, probably now that was on Logic 9. It's probably not even Logic 10 probably fixed that issue. So basically, to explain myself a little bit more, I used to kind of do them like, you know, like an intro, like an Activa kick, where the kick would be low pass, so the low end would be missing. Well, I found that my kick sounded sloppy and a bit like two kicks. And it wasn't until I noticed that I bought Pro Q, where doing the same thing, it kept that kick nice and tight. So I think Logic's EQ wasn't that good back then. It was okay, but now it's, you know, I don't know about now. In fact, it's probably fine now. I must do a test, you know. But anyway, by the by, Pro Q is when I would use and utilize that EQ. But in general now, I'm just using Logic's EQ for things like this because it's just more simple. So we need to fade this in, and we just need to do a little, fade in and out. Doing it again. Let's just check that these aren't affected. Now, you might be asking, Adam, why have you separated it? Well, actually, I don't need to separate it in this case, but if it was just swapping it over like I did, you would need to separate it because trying to get the EQs to line up and all these kind of automation points to match is a nightmare. So what I do is I'll just duplicate it, and when I want it to swap over and I need to put the EQ on, I just literally, that's got an EQ straight away, so it just swaps from one to another. Whereas trying to like automate the EQ up and down doesn't work. But in this case, we're not actually doing that. But let's have a look. I kind of might have fucked it up a bit. Cut off. Where's the EQ? Oh, I know why. It's not on that one. Right, we'll just leave it as it is and see if it works. Brilliant. So obviously we've done quite a lot in this little lesson today. I'm quite happy with it. Let's see how long we've got left. We've got, you know, we'll go on for another seven or 8 minutes. Try and make it an hour long. We'll try and make each one an hour. And it goes to show the level of detailing that I am doing to my tracks. Most people would have just slammed onto the kick and bass in the arrangement now, but I've took my time and really tried to put in details and perfect it rather than rushing about and kind of, which is ironic because I am a rushy bastard in real life. I talk fast, I am fast, I do pretty much everything fast. So yeah, but when it comes to music, I've somehow got this patience because I understand that that's what's required to get to this level. let's make a little variation. Oh, you bastard. I hate when he does that. The reason I'm making a variation is because it repeats and it's just a bit boring. So watch this variation here. It's E. We're already on E. Just gonna save that for later. If it's too loud, let me know. not quite going. Well, my ears are blasted. Need a good 5 minutes after that. But wow, something special there, I reckon. Needed a bit more work, but you've got to remember, this is the bare bones, man. You've got your leads, your sub, a mid-bass kind of atmosphere, a couple of counters that aren't quite there yet. We'll address them fully once we get onto the counters later on. But there's no pads, there's no one-shots, there's no vocals, there's no effects. This is going to be big, man, big. And you can see the creativity that I'm putting into it with a little kind of, you know, you've watched the first video. If not, you should have. So you'll see me do the cool transitions and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that one. Number 2.